Next, though, anti-war activists have held a day of action in key British cities to warn the authorities against a potential attack on Iran. A similar rally is expected in the capital of Israel, which is leading calls to strike over Tehran's nuclear programme. Campaigners fear the mounting pressure could escalate into all-out war if it all goes very badly wrong, the effects of which would reverberate globally. Let's talk about this now with British MP Jeremy Corbyn. He's also a member of the Stop the War coalition, which organised the UK protests. Jeremy, very good evening to you. Thanks for being on RT. It's appreciated. We've witnessed these protests today. We've seen other recent ones too in Britain and the US. The UK at the moment saying it wouldn't back an Israeli strike on Iran. The US has also signalled there is still room for diplomacy. So why are you so worried?
Because the rhetoric that's building up in the USA, because of the breakdown of diplomatic relations between Britain and Iran, and because of the deployment of naval forces from most Western countries in the Gulf at the present time, and the danger that comes from that, and the instant rebuttal of most Western governments of everything the International Atomic Energy Authority says. What we're keen to point out is that there is a serious danger of conflict with Iran. We need diplomacy, we need dialogue, but above all, we need an aspiration of peace and understanding in the region, not another war.
Well, of course, the whole background to this, Western powers saying Iran is concealing the development of a nuclear bomb, Israel insisting an attack on the country is the only way to foil such plans. Now, given the hostile relations between the two states, I guess there's a kind of an argument. I'm not saying it, this channel's not saying it, but some people argue that surely Israel has a right to take measures to protect itself.
Israel has 200 nuclear warheads, has a delivery system, has a research reactor, and certainly has the capability of bombing with nuclear weapons Iran or indeed any other country in the region. Israel is also not a signatory to the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. Iran is and remains so. The last NPT review conference agreed on a nuclear weapons-free Middle East and determination to achieve that. That would mean some kind of debate or conference that involves Israel. I think the way forward has to be de-escalating the tension, denuclearizing the region. Otherwise, somebody somewhere is going to develop a nuclear weapon. I don't believe Iran has a nuclear weapon. I'm not even sure Iran wants to develop a nuclear weapon. But isolating Iran, allowing Israel to continue with these threats, and also allowing the assassinations to go on of nuclear scientists in Iran, when Iran has a legal right to develop civilian nuclear power, it seems to me a very, very dangerous development indeed.
I mean, echoing on what you're saying, there are intelligence agencies in the US and Israel are thought to agree that there is not enough proof right now to determine if Iran is building a nuclear bomb. You're saying everything should be calmed down, people should be talking. I mean, it's great sentiment, it's great what you want, but it's not happening. How do you get it happening?
Well, I think it's happening to some extent in that the International Atomic Energy Authority is doing its best. They are trying to inspect as far as they can. They are keeping an open dialogue with the Iranian regime. Maybe we need some other grouping of nations to come in and try and promote some kind of dialogue between all sections of Iranian society and the Western governments, because there's becoming a standoff between the European Union and Iran, between the UN and Iran. Maybe some non-aligned nations from another continent might be a helpful way forward of bringing about the dialogue that is so vital and so necessary. Think of the consequences for the Western economies, the whole world's economies of a war with Iran. Think of the incalculable loss of people all over that region. If we let slip the dogs of war, we will all live, if we do live, to regret it.
Well, you say that, what would the very worst case scenario be? If the worst were to happen, if the dialogue broke down, looking, I don't know how many months or years hence, but if Israel still goes ahead and attacks Iran, which then strikes back, what reaction would there be from Britain and the US? Would they stand aside?
I don't think they would. They have formidable forces in the region. There is a US base in Bahrain. There are British troops in the whole region. There is a Russian base in Syria. There is a huge degree of armaments all over the region. And the danger then is it gets sucked into a war, either of attrition or allegedly of peacekeeping. And the dangers, and of course the effect on the world's economy, on oil prices, would be absolutely catastrophic. And I just think we have to start to try and understand the nature of Iranian society, not condoning the human rights abuses, but understand the nature of Iranian society and understand the need for dialogue that will help hopefully bring about a de-escalation of this crisis and a peaceful future.
British MP Jeremy Corbyn, also member of Stop War Coalition, thanks for being on the line from London tonight.